In this video, we'll be talking about the Review tab, and just as a reminder, I would try and pause this video throughout and try these things with the same document that you've been given, and it would be best if you actually did these things instead of just watching me do it. You'll retain it a lot better. So, in the Review tab, again, there's a bunch of buttons. We'll just go over a few of them. There's some that are clear. You should always check your spelling and grammar. And so they always say run a spell check, and this is the button they are referring to. And it checks not only spelling but grammar. So you can go through all of the grammar and spelling errors and fix them. All right, next, the thesaurus we've already talked about, and I've done this so many times I've memorized the shortcut Shift plus the F function 7 key, but you can open it up here as well. The word count button, if I just click on, let me close this grammar check. If I click on the word count, it tells you, the number of characters and number of words in the entire document. But sometimes you want to know how many words are in just maybe this section. And you can click on the word count and it will show you what you highlighted. But down here on the bottom left, it'll show you there's 16 words that you just highlighted. I'll show you if I do the file, now I have 17 words highlighted because I've included file. So word count, very useful. The button I want to focus mostly on is this track changes button. Sometimes on the job you're given a file, maybe your boss says, hey, can you doctor this up, make it look good, edit it and send it back to me when you're done. Well, the last thing you want to do is go and make all these changes, save it, and send it back to him without them being able to know what you did. Then they're going to have to compare back and forth and see what you did. Maybe you made a change, but they don't like it. So how do they know what you've changed without having to go back and forth? And that's what this track changes button is for. You really want to use this anytime you're making a change to a document that you want to kind of retain the original and then maybe later accept all the changes. You'll use this. So let me show you how it works. If you click on the bottom of it, it'll bring up a couple options. We just want to do the track changes one, which would be the same as if you just clicked on this page button here. Okay, and that's it. All that happened was it grayed. And so it is currently tracking our changes. So let me show you what I'm going to do. If I were to type a new word, notice how it looks different. If I were to delete this word, notice how it didn't actually delete it, it just crossed it out. And so when you save this file and send it back to whoever, they'll see the changes in bold. Even if you put a space in here, it'll put it, if you add anything you add to this will be tracked. And then when they get it, they can see all of these and they can right click on each one of them and, oops, let me try this again. Right click. Oh, this word just is, let me try this one. Right click on the change and they can either accept the change or reject it. Maybe they didn't like your opinion on that sentence and so they reject this one, but they like this one so they accept it. And whenever there's a spelling issue, you have to fix that first. Oops, there it goes again. So you might have to fix that. Let's just ignore that rule. And now when you right click on this word, you can accept it. And then it turns, the way you meant it to, you meant for that to be deleted. So the track changes is awesome. Make sure you turn that on in certain situations. Now, what if you gave this file to somebody and you told them to turn track changes on and they didn't? And now it's your job to go and figure out everything that's different between the original file and the new one. Well, there's a beautiful button called Compare, and this button compares two documents. So what I'm going to compare is this document that I've been editing and the original. So you click on that and we're going to compare, and you'll have to have two files for this. You're comparing two files that are very similar, maybe just a few changes are in them. So I'm going to compare the document that I have open, if I can find it. Okay, here it is, Word 1 lecture notes. And from a previous video, you saw that I had labeled one lecture notes B. So that's two different files, very similar. Just press OK. And it says one or both compared documents contain track changes. Word will consider these changes to have been accepted. So yeah, just say yes. Normally that track changes will not have been on, because that's the whole point of comparing two documents. And what it does now is it compares the first to the second document, and it shows every single change that has been made to every single spot. So right here, see it says Format Painter, and it's red. Over here, it's not red. That's the original. Somewhere in this list, you will see that change. Oops. So anytime you see a gray line right there, you know that's one of the changes. So comparing two documents is a great thing to do when you need to see subtle differences. There's a bunch of differences here. A lot of times it's only a few words that were changed, but you need to see what the differences are. Turn on the compare button. A couple other things you might want to know about. You are able to insert comments when you're making changes. So maybe you don't like the idea, of some heading, but you don't want to change it. You just want to make a comment so the person reading it will know what you're thinking. That's what this comment button is. And notice nothing showed up right now when I put in a new comment. So what you'll have to do is over here on the right now it's not showing. If you make any changes, it's not showing the changes. I want to show all of the markups. And so this button right here will allow you to see the comments. And so I clicked on the new comment button 3 times. So if I want to delete some of these, I click on that and press delete. And if I want to type in the comment, I can just type right in here. I don't like this. And there you go. So it's not really a change, it's just more of a comment. But a lot of times you don't see these unless you have made them visible. So a simple markup will show it. But let me zoom over so you can see. But if you have no markup, it won't show anything. So even though there are changes, it won't show it. So you have to actually turn this on as well, and then it'll show it. And that is it for this video.